of our favorite games here at the Jump. Say it with me, something, nothing, or everything. Woo! First up, we got Joel Embiid speaking out on his recent struggles, which prompted Brett Brown to give him a night off last Friday against the Pistons. We had wondered if Embiid was just out of gas. I mean, he's played the fourth most minutes in the league going into Friday. Obviously not used to that in his opening seasons in the NBA. He had played more, by the way, by Friday than he had in his entire first year of playing NBA basketball. He says, though, I haven't been myself lately. I think it's mainly because of the way I've been used, which is I'm being a spacer, I guess, a stretch five, it seems like the past couple games. Brett Brown has always had me starting on the perimeter, and it just really frustrates me. My body feels great, and it's just I haven't been playing well. Now, Ramona, I was telling you during the break, Joel said something like this to me when we saw him up in Toronto. It's definitely top of mind for him. Yep. And I couldn't really tell in talking to him how much of it was he really... Well, he clearly thinks it's a role issue, but how much of it is that versus him just, look, you and I both know from talking to him, he will push back anytime, anywhere on the idea that his body can't do what he thinks it can do. He does not like the idea that people think he is fragile in any way because of his opening few seasons and dealing with injuries. So to him, it is always something else. I can't tell how much the role issue is a factor, or this is just what we've been talking about for a while. This team needs shooters. And when they get shooters, everyone will go back to playing where they should be playing.
Yeah, I think one of the best parts about Joel Embiid is you don't have to wonder how he's feeling.
It's true.
He will just tell you. And so very clearly he is saying this very publicly to you or to the group, to Keith Pompey. And
absolutely.
I'm being used in a way that I don't think is the best way for this team. And this is obviously a team that's figuring out how to play with Jimmy Butler. They're figuring out how to play now in a different way. And let's nip this in the bud if you're Joel Embiid. He's putting this out there right now. But, Rachel, I'm with you. I really think as soon as they get shooters to space the floor, then you don't need to have Embiid to space the floor. But he happens to be a really good three-point shooter.
Yeah.
So
you know what he said over the summer? I watch YouTubes of white guys shooting threes, and look at me now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, it was unsolicited to Keith Pompey. That's the one thing that stands out. I mean, you got two alpha dogs.
Yep.
I figured they were going to bark at some point. Jimmy seems to be taking the road from it. But I'm definitely keeping my eye and see how it goes.
And by the way, I asked both Joel and Jimmy very directly and off camera, where they could have said anything. How do you guys like playing with each other? And I asked them separately, and they both, and you can tell in the guy's face, right? They both were like, oh man, he's great. I mean, I think they are kindred spirits in the kind of person, kind of player that they are.
I see that.
So I think it's working out in terms of that aspect of it. It's just now some of the X's and O's that they are continuing to work out. Shout out Elton Brand for trying to get something done. I know they're paging him. Terry Rozier having a message for the media after the Celtics' aforementioned beatdown on the Bulls. Take a listen.
It's been very good for us. We won our last couple of games, so we want to keep it going. And everybody can shut up, because everybody's been very annoying when we've been losing. Very annoying.
Man, the media is so annoying.
Gosh.
Annoying. Let's get back to the Celtics' 5-game winning streak. Is it something, nothing, or everything, Ramona?
Yeah, I think it's something, because they're figuring out how to play together now in the spacing. I think initially they had this idea that they were going to play offense where everybody was going to share the ball, and then they found that Kyrie is really a scorer. And if you try to create a system where he's just sharing the ball and he's not being aggressive, you end up getting a lot of bad shots at the end of shot clocks. And they've just kind of changed it up, and give Brad Stevens a lot of credit for that, but give the players a lot of credit for just sticking with it and working through it and making those kinds of adjustments. So I think they're finding their way there. That just, they've had to deal with us poor annoying media for the rest.
Annoying. Marc, the media is annoying.
We're always annoying. Yeah. But I think it's everything. They drilled a team by 56 points. And I don't care that they got all that drama and they're doing military-style push-ups and all that. They got killed by the Celtics, and that to me was a sign that they're back to everybody. They're adapting to roles that are very humbling probably to some guys. Yeah. And playing well with those roles. So, hey, Scary Terry and the Celtics are scary right now. Be aware. They might finally be back playing like we expected them to.
Well, it's interesting because they are, of course, going for their 6th straight win tonight, except we got some injuries they're dealing with. Kyrie Irving, he's going to sit out. Remember, he tweaked that shoulder the other day. You can see all the other guys who are out. And part of the issue, is, Marc, you're saying, is that they've had so many guys in and out of the lineup due to injuries that people couldn't quite figure out what their new roles would be, who was, quote, coming off the bench or who wasn't, changed nightly. And so you couldn't get used to that. Looks like we may have that again tonight because Kyrie is not going to play on that shoulder. So we'll see. Do you think that something, nothing, or everything that they don't have him tonight?
I don't think it's anything for tonight, but I do worry about those types of injuries, especially with Kyrie, because he is so important to what they do. And if it's a lingering type shoulder injury, that's not good going forward.
Anthony Davis might be out tonight too, and that's something. Anytime either one of those guys get hurt, it's something. And let's see what happens.